Hanaki! Did you know that our souls are connected by fate? What do you know? I'm Yuno Hanaki, the one and only Oiran from Yalun. Good. I was about to say good evening. It is not the evening, it's afternoon. It's afternoon! My sense of time is all fricked up today for some reason. Oof. Anyway, hello, hi. I'm going to be working today, so I honestly will not be talking very much. I've changed the layout of this a little bit. As you can see, I have the Pomodoro work timer up in the corner now, so you guys can kind of see how it's gonna be like split up between 25 minutes of work and then usually a like 5-minute break. This is the 4th quarter, so after this one, it's actually going to be a 15-minute break. The timing just happened to work out that way. I'm actually using the Lo-Fi Girl Pomodoro timer. I'm listening to the music, you guys are not, because Lo-Fi Girl will come for me if I play the music on stream. But I have the music playing in my ears. You guys can only see the timer. We're going to be ignoring that? Well, yeah, because you guys probably aren't working. It's just me. I am paying attention to it, though. I also hear when the alarm goes off. So, I am going to be working. I'm legitimately going to be working. We'll be ignoring it kind of for the time being, because I'm just going to wait to start working when the next cycle starts. So we have, like, I don't know, 30 minutes to just chat for a little. But then once once it cycles back to session 1, quarter 1, I guess, I'll be locking in. I have at least one thing to do today that I'd like to get finished within this stream. It has to be done today because I have 3 more commissions that need to be done this week. They need to be done this week if I can manage it. So I gotta do that. So that's my goal. That's my plan. Busy. You know it. I gotta do what I gotta do to make some money, man. To be fair, these all came from one person. They're like 3... It's 3 things for one person. But they're all due on the same day. So I'm just like, I'll do my best. It honestly shouldn't be too bad. The thing I have to finish within this stream is also not too bad. So I'm hoping that this will overall be a very productive moment. They really like your work? I suppose so. Hee. I do my best. I work hard. If you guys have heard the things that I have written for other talents in the past, I hope that I am still of good quality. I mean, I've mostly been doing my work for the ex-kawaii girlies, so they are usually the ones that approach me, but I am hoping to, I'm considering opening up more public writing commissions as well. Probably gonna do it through VGen or something. I hear VGen's pretty good. And I would like a place that keeps it kind of organized. Stress debuff, but you got this. I'm not stressed right now. There are things in life that are stressful, but I wouldn't say that I feel stressed at the moment. Like, doing the work is not the stressful part. It's making sure that it's of good quality and making sure that it is worth what I ask for. Even though lately, whenever I, like, discuss my prices with people, they're like, please raise them. And I'm just like, I don't know if I deserve that. I'm just a little guy. I do think if I go through with making them public, I will probably raise the prices, though. It's just that whenever it's for the kawaii girls, I'm just like, the kawaii girls need a discount. Because those are my fweds. They're my fweds, they deserve it. So, you know. Ex-employee discount. That's why I call it a friend discount, because they are friend at this point. Sometimes I feel like kawaii is such a distant, like, dream, even though it hasn't even been gone for that long. But it still feels like forever ago. Why do you insist on booping when you know that it's just going to make me explode? Stop. How much? 200 cheap, you're hired. I meant 2. No, I usually try to go for like minimum $10. Which I know sounds very cheap. But I usually, like, I don't know. I try to gauge it, like, per work. Like, once I do a thing in my head, I'm just kind of like, okay, I think this is probably worth this much. I just kind of round it. Because I don't feel like I'm popular enough or, like, sought after enough to, like, warrant charging more. But again, like I said, should I open them publicly, it will definitely be more than that. Emphasis on should. But we'll see. Jury is still out, to be honest with you. No, stop booping. In Swiss. I hear people say you should charge by how many hours you took, but what if I'm a sole worker? But what if I take, like, cumulative 20 hours to finish something? How much is it then? Very true. But I do think there are benefits to charging per hour spent. Especially if you're looking to do it, like, full-time to make it a livable wage. I do think you should charge per hour. But I feel like depending on the thing, it can be kind of hard to, like, really gauge that. For me, I tend to charge per page, because it's writing. Also, I'm a pretty fast writer, so I usually don't have to worry about, like, hour stuff that often. So I feel like my hourly rate would just end up being what my prices are per page anyway. Because I can usually bang out a page in, like, an hour if I'm focused. Which I do usually try to be. Oh, Hanaki, welcome in, welcome in. What if the person dies of old age before you're done? Hopefully they wrote in their will that I will still be paid. That's all I can say to that. Charging per hour means you'd earn less for being more efficient. Very true. If it was per hour, then I feel like people would be more inclined to commit however many hours they wanted to a project, which, I don't know. I feel like it's a double-edged sword, but also, I don't really know what I'm talking about. I usually don't. Let me at least set this up. I'm not starting yet, but I'm gonna at least set up the documents that I'm ready. Let's do a break here. Okay. We'll put a... Okay. So that'll be ready for when it is time for me to start. Just won't be yet. But yeah, I don't know, for me, I more than likely charge per page. And when I wrote lyrics, which I haven't really done in a hot minute, but when I did write lyrics, I charged a amount per minute of song. I don't remember what the amount was anymore. But I charged X amount per minute So if the song was like 4 minutes, it would be whatever amount per minute times 4, you know? And that worked out pretty well. For me, in my opinion. $1 per word. I mean, that is usually like I don't want to say that's common, but $1 per 100 words is quite common for freelancers. If you're hearing this, dear family and friends, you know, finally got the eulogy done. If you're handed a Tupperware bowl on the way in, get her. What the hell? No. As if I would ever let Puntable write a eulogy for someone. As if I'd ever let her come near a funeral, also. She does not have the decorum or the restraint. $1 per syllable? Are you saying that I am worth $1 per syllable? I feel like that would be a bit of a pain in the ass to try and calculate, even if it would result in a decent amount of money. There's so many dang syllables in an average sentence, even. You could make a decent killing off of that. Does she even know what a eulogy is? She would try her best to figure it out. Puntable, haha, he's dead. That would encourage you to use bigger words. Yeah, you would have to advance your lexicon. 17 per haiku sounds pricey. I mean, haiku are very hard to write. At that point, you would be also charging for just pure difficulty of the medium. So, I mean, I kind of relate. I kind of get it. Charge what you're worth, man. As someone who struggles to write poetry, I'd be like, what the frick? Bing, bing. Okay. Now it's the 15-minute break before the cycle restarts. So you guys will be receiving the benefit of me settling down and locking in for like 20 minutes of typing-ish. And then a 5-minute chat period, and then I will lock in again. That will be what this stream is. I apologize if it's not as fun as yapping to me actively while I attempt to write, but I am a working girl now. Or well, I'm trying to be a working girl. And I'm trying to get my shit together. So we will truly be working. Nice productivity method. I love the Pomodoro method. It's honestly one of the best things I decided to try out. Like, I'd heard about it for a long time, but I never really committed to doing it. I tried it like once back in my office lady days. My office lady, well, at-home office lady Buno experience. And I didn't care for it. But I've gotten better at like actually splitting up my attention. Lo-fi beats to ignore Thomas too. Track 1 of 600. I'm not going to fully ignore you. You will probably notice me looking over at you every now and again whilst I am writing, just so that I can make sure that you guys are still here. And that you're not mad at me for barely talking, but it's just, it's going to be less engaged than some of my previous work streams have been. But I also am trying to stream more. Because again, a girl still has to make money. I am a working girl, and a working girl needs to make money. I'd have to try hard to ignore the timer because I'd constantly be checking how many minutes are left. Yeah, that happened to me a lot when I was working this way as an OL. I don't do it as much now. I find it a lot easier to just kind of lock the frick in. I think I only come up for air like once, and that's usually 5 minutes before the timer goes off. And then I'm just like, ah. That was just a figment of her imagination. No, come back! I'm Spider-Man gripping at the dust from where you left. Come back! The olden miles to go before I sleep. Uh-huh. I'll be keeping you as my background noise. Thank you! I am, in fact, the background streamer. This is a fate I have resigned myself to. In a positive way. There are some people who don't particularly like knowing that they are the background noise, but I do. I don't mind it. I mostly use streams as background noise, so knowing that I'm someone else's background noise, I'm just like, whoa! Heck yeah! I love that. Mm-mm. 何が好き? クッキー生地フレーバーよりもあなた. Now I can finally share the brainworm. This song has been haunting all three of us ever since we recorded. In case you haven't listened yet, me and Loon posted another cover. We posted a cover of I Scream. Real and true. Please watch it. If you take the purple pill, you will lock in one dama will poof. If you take the green pill, slams 200 purples, fudge the green. What? Why do you guys think I hate you? What is this new narrative that I hate you guys? Because it is definitely not true. Problem with cooking is that you need to keep the brainworm to yourself for a while. That's what I mean. And this song has been like everybody's brain rot for so long, but I had to act like I didn't know about it. I was just like, huh, I don't know. What? That's crazy, what? Never heard that song before. In my head screaming the parts that I recorded. I think you hate green and blacked out every other word. I don't hate green! This is a narrative that has been heavily misconstrued about me. I don't hate green. I actually think green is a quite pleasant color. I just don't want to be green for the rest of my life. Even Kaya keeps drawing me with the purple undertone, even though I haven't formally, like, addressed the hair situation yet. That's the main thing. What is cookie keiji flavor? No, it's cookie keiji, which is the JP translation for cookie dough flavor ice cream. So it's like I'm eating cookie dough versus cookies and cream. Stopping by real quick, not feeling well. Oh no, I hope you feel better soon. Rest up lots. Have soup. Wrap yourself up in a cozy blanket. Watch an anime. Get well soon, though, seriously. You like green? Name every shade. Emerald green, jade green, mint green, lime green, neon green, nuclear green, slime green, I said emerald already. I'm thinking. Forest green. Shrek green, that's true. Shrek green. Snot green. Puke green. thought jade was one of the first ones I said, but yes, jade green. Freaking moss green, that's true. Moss green, give it up for moss. Grass green then also. Freaking love grass. Evergreen. Tea green seafoam, that's true, that's true. Seafoam was the one that I was thinking of, but I couldn't remember. I was just gonna say sea green, which I guess I guess that's kind of there. Broccoli green, celery green, leafy green. Yeah, puke green. I said that one already. That was next to booger green. My horns are not edible, so no, you can't eat them while I work. I mean, you can try, but I'm pretty sure you would just break your teeth. Now we're just naming green things, but they are shades of green. That's not wrong. Inherently, it's not wrong, because it's just different shades of green. Not many of these are the exact same shade, arguably. Matcha green, that's true. Cartoon money green. That is a very specific green color, isn't it? Yellow green, which is a real color. I don't know. I think that's decent enough. I feel like I get at least a C. But no, I do actually like green as a color. Just the entirety of my freaking existence and brand currently is green, and I don't want that for myself anymore. That's why I am switching away. I don't hate green. You successfully convinced us you like green. Yippee! I do like it. I think I honestly probably would have liked being green more if there was like variance in the green. But I think a lot of my OG design, everything is just the same shade of green, and it makes it a little bit difficult. I like there to be like more colors, I guess. I would like for there to be more colors, I guess is what I meant to say. Just like a little bit more variety. I mean, I come back to this story a lot, but since even my eyes were green, just so much of me was washed out because the entirety of my aesthetic was just green. And it's to the point where everyone was kind of assigning that as my image color. Even though that's not, and never was my image color. Putting green in the retirement home to play pink when I with the other colors. I just think green doesn't really suit me. At least not anymore. I just came up with a sick design for a VTuber. What do you all think? Green square. Did you pick an idol color? Yes, that's the purple. Do you see all the purple that I'm wearing right now? That's my image color. Well, my image color is actually a lot brighter. Paler, I guess is what I meant to say. But yeah, it's a shade of purple. We had it in our debut slideshows. My member color was hashtag DCD0FF, which is a very, very, very pale purple. Not improved. Green apple. Honestly, a green apple VTuber would be really, really cute. Lavender? I don't think the shade is called lavender. Does it have a specific name? Let me see. DCD0FF. Color name? Light mauve. Pale lavender. Lavenderant. I guess it depends where you're looking, because some places call it lilac, some places call it pale lavender, some places call it light mauve. Somewhere around there. Although I admit that I see pale lavender more often than I see anything else. But yeah, I've always had that as my member color. We had to say member color because... I mean, spoilers. I feel like you guys probably knew this because I've mentioned it occasionally. We were never confirmed nor denied to be part of the Idol project. Our senpai assumed that we would all be counted as part of the Idol project, but whenever we talked about it with management, they kind of would dodge the question a lot. At the very least, for formerly Hanamizuki, we never had a specific... hi, Tomoe. At least for formerly Hanamizuki, we never were given like a specific direction for what the focus of our unit was gonna be. And like nobody nobody ever confirmed or denied to us that we were going to be in the Idol project. But our senpai were like, "What? Of course you'd be in it." And we were like, "Are we?" They never told us. I think they might have, like, known even from, like, way back, maybe, that there was potential that Kawaii was going to explode emoji. So maybe they just didn't want to get our hopes up. Yuta! Hello, Yuta. Welcome in, Raiders. For those of you who might not know me, I am Yuno Hanaki. I am the one and only Oiran from, indie V-singer group Mialoon. I have to lock in for my... start of my Pomodoro work, but thank you very much for the raid. I hope you had a good stream. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. I have to lock the freak in, but thank you so much for the raid. No, you're cute. Man, guys, I love girls. Did you know that? Yuta is a fellow purple woman. I will be joining the Purple Woman Club even more than I already am. Soon TM. I love purple women. Women in purple. Let's freaking go. Okay, I have to actually work now. but again, thank you for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Rest well. Yippee, 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 yippee. Okay. Blue and green women in shambles. No, I love blue women and also green women. But if we're going back to the original point, I definitely didn't really see myself as a green woman, despite being given the green woman. I think everything else about the Yuno model suited me besides the color. But when I asked if I could change the color, they said no. The only thing that they were willing to change was something very minor. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll just change my eye color. Had the hat removal? As in you had that added to the model? That makes sense. Man, I don't know what would have happened if the hat was, like, not removable. Glued to your head forever. She'd never be free. Asked like 5 times. No, that's a nightmare. They were actually pretty quick to change my eye color. I think I asked, and then, like, within a few days, my mama sent the redone image of it. Oh my gosh. Ryder, thank you for the 100. I guess that means we hit the daily goal for today already. Thank you. Bruz for Raiders and to distract the purple green Oni every day. Every day I am faced with the freaking attempts of distraction. Thank you. Where's my goal counter? There we go. Thank you. This is super useful for me because there are some things that I need to do in the next few days. I've talked about that already, though. Okay. I'm locking it. Oh my gosh. Learning how to type. Also, I realized I don't have to keep the volume this loud on my side anymore because you guys can't hear it. Ha ha ha. I can actually turn it down a little. I had it turned up because I realized that in my, on OBS it wasn't showing very much. But I have fixed. I have fixed. Now we're good. I fix. I fix. Okay. Gonna use this time to get some coffee and maybe do some work myself. Yippee! Work with me, work with me! We can do a Pomodoro style and take breaks at the same time, too. Hi, Spider-Man! Bills to pay, work mode? Heck yeah. Everybody be productive. It's actually funny that you guys are more willing to be productive on a Sunday. When I've tried to do work streams on Saturdays, everyone's been like, no, you know it's Saturday. Why are we working on a Saturday? Yet suddenly, now that it's Sunday, which is supposedly the Lord's Day, the day of rest, everyone's like, I'm gonna work and be productive with you. There's just something funny about that. I purposely avoided Sundays because I thought no one would want to work. We're complex creatures. I am learning this. We are learning and we are growing.
offering. Thank you so much.
Let go my ego. Thank you for the $4.20. Haha, nice. It's Friday the 13th's cousin, Sunday the 13th. Ugh. Does that mean you consider this to be unlucky or lucky? Because people say Friday the 13th is unlucky. If Sunday the 13th is the cousin, is this also an unlucky day? I spent the last 4 days off from work for Guild War and Grand Blue. I love this for you. I think I've mentioned this before, but I also have a friend who goes very sweaty for Guild War. We're just contrarian on the day of rest and rest on work days. You know what? That's fair. Palm Sunday, unlucky in the micro, not the macro. Ah, I see. It's omen ridden. Well, some omens can be a good omen. Other omens can be bad omens. Will we get a holy Onimon this week? Do you want me to wear a nun costume during Onimon? Because that's about all I can do for you. On Friday the 13th, during high school, a black cat crossed my path and I immediately found $100 on the ground, funny enough. I see. They canceled out. Is that a possibility? I think so? I think I saved one of those nun assets. 1 second. Actually, let me finish my work. I'll finish my work in this section and then I will check during the break if I have that asset. If I don't, I think I can ask, I can probably ask Kaya, because I know Kaya has it. Yeah, it's Pomodoro. I am listening to Lo-Fi Girl, the Pomodoro set list, so that I have an in-ear timer. I am showing the corner of the video that has the timer on stream, but I have my actual browser audio muted because Lo-Fi Girl will sometimes issue takedowns to streams that use the audio.
an offering. Thank you so much.
Beep beeps, thank you for the $10 tip. Far away from Wi-Fi today, so we'll be vlogging Gamba, Buno, and all the Damadachis. Thank you! Enjoy your trip? Work stuff? I don't know why you are away from the Wi-Fi, but enjoy your adventure. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, Hanaki! Welcome in. I am working. Oh. Break. Yippee! Okay, I wrote, almost 3 pages? Within that span? I'm popping off, I fear. I might actually be able to get to those other assignments today. Frick. Heck yeah. Okay, what did I need to do? Right, I needed to check if I had the nun outfit. I feel like I do. But I don't remember, so I'm gonna look. Do I remember what I called the folder? I don't.
An offering. Thank you so much.
Oh, Jen, thank you for the $5 tip. Thank you, thank you. I should probably update that as well. No, that's all right. I do have it. I've just never extracted it. Let me do that now. Too bad it doesn't auto-update. I never got that freaking text script version to work, is the main thing. If I could have figured that stuff out, then maybe I'd be able to get it to auto-update. Like, the one time I tried to use it, it just didn't want to work. Luckily, I know what's been donated, so I can just kind of beep beep boop. Okay. But anyway, yes, I do have the outfit. I just have to make sure I import it right, I guess. I'll have to remember how to do that. So I guess I'm randomly going to be a nun tomorrow. Because the people want it so bad. It's okay. It's one of the asset outfits I've never played with. I've played with, like, a couple of them. But this is one I never touched before. Okay. I think if I really lock in for this next section, I might be able to finish this. I think. And then I still have the 3 other ones to try and write. But hey, if I can get those done today, that means I would have a bit of time in case any of them need revisions. Which I love for me. Those will be longer than this one, though, so there's a chance that I might not get through all of them today. But that's fine. All right, we lock in again. Good morning, Ohanaki. Welcome in, welcome in. I was right. It only took this next part and I finished it, I think. I'll have to run it by the commissioner, but hopefully they like this version. Big stretch. I shrimped just a little bit. But I fixed my posture just now. Going into break. Whee! 5 minutes. Okay. Let me send this document over. Because that's technically not part of my work. Gonna do some shiny Scrafty hunting? Let's go. Good luck finding your Scrafty. I wonder how easy it'll be to shiny hunt in the new game in ZA. Because I know in Legends Arceus it was super freaking easy. If it's a similar enough, like, style, I assume it would be just as easy. A lot of people, I mean, I say a lot of people liked it. I'm sure a lot of the more sweaty shiny hunters were just like, this is too easy. But I feel like at least casuals, like me, liked it. So I think it would be nice if they kept it. Like, if they kept the ease of finding the shiny. This is just a random thought that I had. Okay, where is the list of prompts for the other... Okay. Oh, I never got the list for that, so I guess I'm just gonna go with the, with the second one? Yeah, I guess so. Nah, it's fine. Oh, my my model goes crazy when I drink from my water bottle from my Stanley. Well, I guess specifically this model because I never turned off the, like, move forward and back feature on this one. So when the Stanley comes into view, it starts making it bug out, and that's funny. That's a bit silly. Okay. Time to make a new document. There we go. Sitting properly will prevent me from shrimping. I say properly, but I'm literally doing my cross-legged sit in my chair again. I was trying to sit like a normal person, but that doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. I'm too far away. This is better, though. Alright. We lock in once more. Goodbye, gamers. The breaks are always so short. That's like the one downside, I guess. Like a 5 minutes feels like no time at all. Hanaki, welcome in. Welcome, welcome. This is a quieter stream than normal. I apologize for that, but this is mostly so I have company while I'm working. Please understand. I'm a working girl. Thank you for the head pats. We chillin'? Yeah, we chillin'. You'll hear a lot of typing, an occasional or a huh, because I'm thinking. And then I talk mostly during the breaks. You can see the timer up there. I work for like a 25-minute stint, and then I take a break for 5 minutes. That is the way the Pomodoro method works. Well, it's like that for 3 sessions anyway. After the 4th session, it's 25 minutes of work and a 15-minute break. And then the cycle repeats until you get your work done. You know thinking equals Minecraft villager? Yes. I do sound like that on the regular. You know it's Villager 3 in the Minecraft movie. I do not know a literal single thing about that movie besides, like, a few stray memes. And I think I'm going to keep it that way. I fear. She famous? It was my acting debut. I crave the movies. I crave the silver screen. Being VTuber not enough, need movie credit. Debut in a blockbuster, very nice. Heck yeah. Something something shoot for the moon. Heading to bed. Okay. Get some good rest. Thank you for hanging out. I was reading your Twitter and I feel you on the job search struggle. Hang in there, don't blame yourself. The job market is brutal in some places right now, no matter how hard you try. Yeah. It's hard not to blame yourself, though. Especially when you apply to so many and you just get literally, like, nothing except for scams. Because that's been my luck. They always want you to move to a secondary location. They're just like, hello, we are interested in your application. Please download WhatsApp. And I'm just like, what? It was literally like, I'm glad my break is here. It was literally like, we are interested in your application. Please download WhatsApp so that we can verify you are from Onigashima. And I was just like, why would that verify that I am from Onigashima? My phone number is on my resume. Like, you can still do a phone number lookup and see that I am from Onigashima. I've never used WhatsApp before, so I was just like, I don't understand why you want me to use this. Never trust a job that insists that you download a new app. I thought it was literally them asking for Onigashima. No. Onigashima, you know why. You know why. But no, it was just, it's so freaking silly. Straight up goofy. Jobs are weird. I went kind of wild with this prompt. I'm not sure if this is what they were hoping for out of this, but it's what they're getting. And I guess if they don't like it, I can just redo it, perhaps. This is not one of my strengths. Like, I can do it, but it's not a strength of mine. So I hope this is good enough. I think in this next session I should be able to finish it and get a start on the second, and then we will have another long break. These 5-minute breaks are so short. Please add time. I'll live, I guess. We won't mind if I take a longer break. I know you won't. My desire to be productive, however, will. Still 5 minutes if it's 5 minutes, 59 seconds. That's girl math. My fake offer got caught by YouTube. Good job, I guess. Not the fake offer. No. I'm glad the spam filter caught it. For once, YouTube is capable of doing something to protect a content creator. Instead of big money dollar. Love that for me.
Wahoo! Wahoo! Yippee!
Take a 5-minute break, Modulo 7, aka 19-minute break. No, we're fine. This is the last session, and then we get a 15-minute break. It'll all be worth it. I wrote it like the test fish email my company wastes my time with every couple of weeks. Yeah, that makes sense. If it's copy-pasted phishing, of course YouTube knows to sense that. Of course, of course. Okay, we lock in. Last session, then we get big break. We lock in. So long, gamers. Tomoe Carmine. May I help you, ma'am? Yeah, can I get a... Take your time. Look over the menu. Examine the wares. The sea behind me? You want the whole Onigashima Ocean? That's a tall order. Yeah. You know what? Understandable. Honest inquiry, would the water be bad for your ghost fire? The sea combo? Oh, the sea combo. Yes, of course. Yes, 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 of course. Would you like this for here or to go? That's a lot of hydration. Is it really hydration? Since it is the Onigashima Ocean, it is probably quite salty. Which is the opposite of hydration, I fear. I did think about that afterwards. I feel you. Sometimes I like write something or I send a message and in my head I'm just like, why is that the stupidest thing I've ever said? I get you. Low sodium diet seawater. You're one of the few people that orders the diet seawater. Most people order seawater zero. Apparently seawater zero tastes better, but I wouldn't know. After some brain celling, that's clearly got to be combo number D6. Oh, the D6 of the seawater combo. Yeah, I understand. I understand. You know, doesn't drink water. I specifically don't drink salt water. I have a giant bottle of water next to me right now. I am actually a water drinker. Shocking, I know. Do you hear this? This is water. Unbased, not dehydrator. I like water. I like to be hydrated. Coffee. I like coffee too. But I also like water. Cherry seawater. Somebody gets my joke. But also cherry seawater. Would you say that that's the... Would you say that that's the... Red Sea? I'm made of jokes. You're made of jokes. I'm mostly carbon and water. Boom. Comedy. I'm made out of matter. This much is true. Because comedy matters. Her water just contains hydrogen. I'm going to explode. You know, what should I put on my schedule next week? How about, oh god, don't look at me. You should... League of Legends, guys. I don't know why you keep trying to bring League of Legends back. I don't think they play it anymore. Morgana? Okay. I'm not I'm not sure what this is referencing. Is that from the Elden Ring? That's something you're playing right now, right? Okay. This is the time to force Tomoe to start Tales. Oh. Make Tomoe play a JRPG. And doom her to like 40 streams of it. I can't do that to anyone but me, man. Just me and my demons. Trails of Cold Steel or Tales series really good. I've wondered about Trails. I have eyed it on occasion. Tomoe Carmine is looking forward to play through part 65. Let's freaking go. I love part 65. Carguy's got her to play RE7 and she hates it. RE bleh, RE How do you feel about Fire Emblem? I like it. I do enjoy a little Fire Emblem every now and again. I'm one of those fake casuals that started with Awakening, though. I am familiar with the old games, with the games before that, but I don't... No, me too, same. I love Awakening. I love Awakening so much. I love Awakening. Apparently most Fire Emblem fans think that we are fake for starting back there, but man. I can't help it. Awakening slays. I'm a Crom liker. I'm also a Gaius. Yes, I'm also a Gaius liker. Gaius was my first husband, and then I got Crom. And then I was like, you know what? I get it. I went Awakening, Fates, Three Houses. I never got to playing Fates or Three Houses. I wanted to play Three Houses, but I didn't. I also hung out with friends while they played through a bit of Fire Emblem Engage, and I liked Engage a little bit. I didn't mind it. Never finished it, though. I got forced married to Crom, I think. No, I feel you. That's what happened to me in that second playthrough. I was trying to marry somebody else. I don't remember who. And then I got forced married to Crom, and I was like, ah, dang. But he was still really cute, so I didn't complain. I think I put that 80% in as well. I think I might have been like 60%. Maybe somewhere between 60 and 70%. But yeah. It's not that I didn't like it, it's just that I moved on to other things. We were in the middle of that Engage playthrough while I was prepping for Kawaii, I believe, and then I was like, goodbye. Because I focused on Kawaii instead. Fades away. That's literally what happened to me. I had to lock in on my prep. I had to focus on becoming a green woman. Pepsi-chan MC. I never really thought she looked like Pepsi. I get why people would say it, but I never thought she looked like Pepsi. But I'm also a two-tone hair liker, so I didn't mind the split hair color thing. Toothpaste. Very dark toothpaste. I remember doing my second playthrough and having Crom get all buddy-buddy with the dancer who gets introduced in that chapter. Oh, that's... Olivia? God, I don't remember names. I'm probably getting it so wrong. I haven't played Awakening in ages. I don't think that's her name. Let me check. Wait, no, she is the dancer. Holy shit, I'm a genius. My memory actually isn't broken. I remember people said the protagonist looked like a VTuber, so they pasted her image on a streaming layout. Well, the artist for that game did design, like, several VTubers, so they're not wrong. That's the thing that I thought of the most with her. I was like, I don't think she looks like toothpaste or Pepsi. I just think she looks like a VTuber. But I think character design has just kind of moved in that direction, you know? Hashtag technically the truth. Hashtag technically correct. I just called her the dancer because I couldn't remember her name. I had to dig into the recesses. I was just like, Olivia, I think. I actually bought Fire Emblem Awakening on my, this is gonna date me a little bit. Sorry, date reveal. On my senior year trip. My end of high school trip, we went to a place that had a big Nintendo store. And I bought Fire Emblem Awakening there. I think I got... I'm trying to remember what games I got there. Because I know I got like 3. I remember 2 of them. Fire Emblem Awakening was one. The other one I remember getting is Conception 2. Okay, you have to understand, this is back in my phase where I just wanted to get anything that seemed JRPG or like anime coded. Because I was a fucking weeb. So like... I didn't really think about the implications of me trying to get this game. But, you know, because it was my senior year of high school, I was of age, but they did card me getting that game. And that was the first time I ever got carded for something. So I was like, whoa, I feel very adult right now. I didn't even realize that it was rated M until I was like, why are they carding me? And then I looked down at the game and saw the big fat M in the corner and I was like, oh, that would be why. You would think I would understand that a game called Conception would, you know, necessitate that rating, but I didn't. I just saw anime girl on cover and was like, for me. Is for me now. Love that for me. This is how it is. This is how it be. This is the life I live. I don't remember what the third game was. I know that they were all DS games, though. DS and 3DS. What the frick? What did I get? I don't remember. I remember discussing it with other people at the time, but Awakening happened to come out at a really good time. It was right after the 3DS price drop, and there wasn't a lot of other RPGs. Yeah. No, for sure, I agree. It came out at a good time. It was also just, like... I feel like it's a good introductory Fire Emblem to all the people who get mad about how it introduced it to a lot of casuals. In the end, you kind of want the casuals to play your game, because it means that your game will get funding. I never understand why people are like, oh, but now it's reaching the masses of, like, the normies and the casuals. And I'm just like, yeah, but the normies and the casuals are a majority, and the majority has money. You want this for your IP. The plot just feels epic. You're honestly so right. I feel like a lot of the... Not a lot, I guess, because I didn't play Fates, but I feel like once they pivoted to, like, the Switch, I feel like a lot of the Switch Fire Emblem installments ended up focusing more on, like, drama and politics and less, like, epic RPG story, if that makes sense. Because I remember that was something I felt kind of meh about with Engage. Engage is just a lot of, like, politics and world-building politics. Wasn't about to die off before Awakening did really well. Yeah, I remember that. So in the end, we should be grateful. Thank you, Awakening. Thank you, Crom. I think it usually has to do with niche dilution. I get it, but you need broader appeal for anything not grassroots. Yeah. I would agree with that sentiment. I read an interview about the game close to release. Apparently there was a good chance Awakening was going to be the last Fire Emblem, so they ended up including a lot of features that were new. And then that ended up being really good because it made the game, I don't want to say more palatable, but like more approachable for new people. And then again, the fact that it was one of the few JRPGs on the 3DS at that point. And then the Tales series saw that and was like, what if we re-release Tales of the Abyss for the 3DS and we try to get a renaissance like how Fire Emblem did with Awakening? And then that did frickin' diddly fuck all. Tales always tries to do something a bit too late. And even though it was Abyss, I still don't think the 3DS version of it did very well. Hell yeah, Tales of the Abyss. Hell yeah! I'm still waiting for that apparent remaster announcement that should be coming soonish, maybe. I guess that'll happen in probably June, because that's when Tokyo Game Show is. If Abyss comes to Steam, I'm making everyone I know play it. I will also play it. Something that will light the fire under my ass so that I can finally actually beat Graces too. Make them play Vesperia. It was on sale recently. I want people to play Vesperia. I'm also planning to do a playthrough of Vesperia. Depending on how long it takes for us to get the Abyss remake or remaster, whatever they're going to do with it. After Graces, I'm probably going to consider picking up Vesperia. I do have other games I promised I would play, though, so I'm just like, ah, frick. The overall, like, schedule of games is killing me. Being JRPG liker is suffering. Fantasy worlds can have this thing where it's been 1,000 years and we still have medieval technology. I know, right? I remember I was like stunned that oh, Fiona! Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, raiders. We're supposed to be working. And I am working. I did finish up this draft. It's just I'm also talking about JRPGs. But yes, hello, welcome in. For those of you who might not know me, I am Yuno Hanaki. I am the one and only Oiran from indie V-singer group Mialoon. Welcome in, welcome in. I hope you had a good stream. I think I watched a video essay on that, on why it's good, but I forgot all the arguments about it. Teehee, teehee. No, I understand. It's just like, I remember their overall opinion was, it's good. Do I remember details? No. But they said it's good. Orbital metal rod drops and Fire Emblem blew my mind. That's fair. No, I was going to say, I remember I was shocked in Vesperia when the introduction of Blostia allowed them to have, like, electricity. And they weren't just all relying on lanterns. I was so used to, like, lanterns and candlelight that I was, like, shocked when there was, like, electricity. Technically, electricity was also kind of introduced in Abyss with the phonons, but specifically, I remember it in Vesperia the most because they showed, like, if the Blostia weren't working, it caused, like, power outages, and that felt more realistic to me versus phonons in air, do thing, make thing happen. Blostia just felt like a more concrete example of electricity, I guess. Long break time! Let's freaking go! I love this for me! Did that shock you? Yes. It was very enlightening. Very funny. Okay, I think this one's alright. What do I have to do for these other two? Okay. I will not look right now though. I'm on my long break. I'll be good. I'm on my long break. That was their vision all along. True. No working allowed during break? Yes. That's why I said I'm not going to look at it. I'm only looking at chat. I'm staring directly at you right now. I'm only allowed to look at you guys. And I guess, like, other entertainment tabs if I had them, but I don't. I'm on my long break. That's why I say I'm at work. I'm the only one in the office. Uh-huh. That's me. I'm just, like, I'm taking my 15 to nobody besides me in my house. Yeah, I'm looking at you guys like that. I'm that face. Yeah, don't look. I'm so Hazukashi. Sometimes I do things that are just so embarrassing in my own brain. Although I must say, I feel like my sense of shame has shrunk since, like, committing to being a VTuber. I don't even get breaks, I just say fruited, I ain't doing squat because no one's here to say otherwise. Exactly. Live your best life. As long as the work still gets done, take all the breaks you need. You're cringe and free. Thank you! Finally, somebody who gets it. You get overly embarrassing, gotta do the wig. I mean, yeah. It just comes out. It's also just a fun noise to make, you can't help it. You're more willing to do ridiculous things for the content. I literally... I literally got money to jingle my keys on my microphone for 6 minutes. I think my sense of shame has, if not shrunken down to like a unrecognizable size, it has completely dissipated. I have reached the point beyond return. I plead the fifth. I'm sure you do. Why do you think I very kindly omitted the amount? The keys is how we lock in. Uh-huh. You lock in on the keys. You don't necessarily lock into work. You lock in on the keys. I would argue that's a little bit different. Though many an argument could be had in general. Yeah. I mean, at least you admit this. At least you could admit to this being the truth. Unless there's a keysmith here. Any keysmiths in chat? Anyone have a hookup so I can get multiple keys? Asking for a friend. Any key keepers? Groundskeepers who have lots of keys? Please? No, but I know a guy. That's sick, actually. Please. I hold out my hand. I take, please? I have, please? Man, I just checked my TL and I saw a really nice looking donut. I need to not look at my TL anymore. I don't want to think about food. I'll get distracted. If they're just for jingling, you could likely just get bulk blanks for cheap. I mean, yeah, we talked about this last time. Last stream where I Zatsu'd. We did talk about this. But it doesn't mean I can't ask for keys regardless. Kali fans are very highly forklift certified and more welders, machinists than you would expect. No, I feel like that kind of makes sense. I've never really thought to poll what everybody's career is, though. We technically jingle random bits of metal. We never know they weren't actual keys. No, I feel like you could tell. I feel like you'd be able to tell. There's just there's a certain je ne sais quoi to jingling keys that I feel just would not be able to be replicated by metal. I see a donut on stream too. Where? I want a donut. Unless you're calling me a donut. That's not true, by the way. Dama's locking in to make sure the metal sounds are really keys. They're just like, I can tell. I think Yuno is just smacking together 2 tungsten cubes, and I'm just like, ah, shit, how did you figure it out? Heavy thonk sound. You were supposed to think this was just a really big key. The Kinosaurs here would call it in 0.4 seconds. That's what I'm saying. You guys like keys too much. You would be able to sense any sort of deception I would attempt. I already know this. In the digital age, people try to jingle pin numbers to get their fix, but it just wasn't the same. That thought is very funny. Two tungsten cubes colliding, truly a dense thonk, much denser than a common man's cube made of an inferior metal such as aluminum. Yeah, we don't need an aluminum cube where we're going. I unlock my Oni strength just to smack 2 tungsten cubes. Like a crazy person, I fear. They didn't capture the same feeling as real keys. Dang it, shut up! Most powerful metal cube and Yuno can lift too. Yeah, it's finally my Oni strength. Get your keys out of tungsten as a prank. Tungsten keys. Why is that thought so funny? You guys find out that the box I've been referencing all this time is actually just, a giant tungsten cube that I hollowed out to live in. It's my tungsten cave that I unlock with my tungsten keys. Coming home to my tungsten house. This isn't even funny. I just think it's hilarious. Man, that's heavy. Indeed it is. But it means I'm well protected. Walls that are difficult to penetrate, you know? That's the weightlifting goal. Every minute minute item you interact with is tungsten. Oh my god, I would never survive. Or I would just get really freaking swole. How did you manage to haul out a tungsten cube? I don't know, ask my landlord. I just inhabit the cube. I was not the one who made it. It's I'm blue, but everything is tungsten. I'm cube, da-ba-dee da-bu-dai. Da-bu-dee da-bu-dai. I'm cube. Tungsten pencils and keycaps. A tungsten pencil probably wouldn't be too bad. Pretty heavy, but it wouldn't be terrible. I feel like tungsten keycaps, though, would basically be impossible to type with. You'd have to be able to push, like, really hard. Also, the switches would have to be tungsten. Just so that they don't break upon impact once you finally do manage to push down the key. Okay. Every time you lift your coffee mug for tea, it's a tungsten mug. No! My tungsten Stanley is going to be so heavy. How am I supposed to drink my water out of my tungsten Stanley? It's Jover. Man, even the 15-minute break went by so fast. Okay. Send this off. Time flies when you're having fun. I'm actually thinking I might call it soonish. Just cause I'm on a little bit of a time crunch, and if I sit through another session of full Pomodoro, I'd probably be going overtime. Probably. My life is friggin' busy these days, man. Maybe I will just call it on the Pomo timer and hang out a bit instead. I finished 2 scripts. That's more than I thought I was going to finish. You'd be a base dehydrator. Why do you guys encourage dehydration? That's what I want to know. Why, though? That's not bad. Yeah! It's 2 out of 4. So I got half of my expected work done, and the other ones aren't due until later this week, so... Already having a decent start is thumbs up good for me. You like dry humor? Oh, I get you. But no, I did good. This is a good idea. Maybe if I do end up opening my commissions to the public, I will do this more often. Where I simply do Pomodoro with you guys. It goes by a lot faster when I get a chance to, like, yap for 5 minutes on my break. Because before, when I was working by myself, I would, like, lock in, obviously, and then during the 5-minute breaks, I would just kind of zone off and stare into space for 5 minutes, and then I'd hear the beep beep, and then go back to working. And as much as you like to joke about it, talking to you does stimulate my brain a little bit. I have to do some thinking. If only because you guys don't. Lovingly, lovingly. Hey. Hey is for horses. What? Oi. 3 months later, man, I have Yuno brainworms. Last 25 ASMRs I've heard sound like her. Wait. No, some of these should be getting finished sooner. If I had to assume. Because I think I got everything done in time for what it'll need to be done for. You took the shared brain cell, it's not fair. This is true. It's technically a very unfair fight because I stole the brain cell to do my work. The one brain cell that we have between us. There's 2 brain cells in Mialoon, and then there's 1 brain cell between me and you. Mom said it's our turn with a brain cell. Well, I guess you can have it now that I'm done working. I guess. Time to become brain empty. It's actually impossible for me to turn my brain off, but we'll pretend I can. Is empty time. Empty, empty, empty brain. I always imagine the brain cell is more of a hot potato situation, as in none of us want it, and so we're just tossing it back and forth until someone gets saddled with it. Interesting concept. Interesting theory. I have a brain cell backed up on Windows 7. Let me just link to that one. Update 1 of 7,622. Oh god, we're gonna be here a while. That thing's gonna take forever to update. If it weren't for ASMR, with how overactive my brain is, I'd still very often get no sleep or only 2 to 3 hours daily. I genuinely have mad respect for people who can actually sleep listening to ASMR. I've tried, and it just does not work for me. But I've also established before, I'm not really good with, like, sound when I'm trying to sleep. Sound will keep me the frick up no matter what it is, even if it's just, like, music. Or freaking motorcycles! Sorry, you probably can't hear it because my noise filtering is better, but there was a very loud motorcycle outside. Sub-neighbor on this side of Onigashima has a very loud motorcycle. I don't even hate motorcycles. I think they're sick. It's just, they always are riding it at between, like, the hours of 1 to 3 a.m. So sometimes I will be trying to go to bed finally, and then it'll just be going, and I'm like, why? Why, though? This is a residential part of Onigashima, please! They love revving them. This is just, yes, this is very much just a trait of people who ride motorcycles. I know this because there are people in my family who previously rode motorcycles. Don't anymore, but either rode motorcycles or were acquainted with a lot of people who rode motorcycles. ASMR that's slow and triggers tingles gets me to feel sleepy, so I can fall asleep with it, but it totally depends on the triggers. I suppose that makes sense. I find certain sounds and, like, soundscapes relaxing, but never enough to fall asleep to. Because, again, it's, like, the noise sensitivity. It's always funny having to explain this, because then I also have to... Especially with family, I mentioned that I have a hard time sleeping with noise, and they're just like, but your mother used to snore like crazy. How did you manage to sleep then? And I was just like, I grinned and I bared it. I simply dealt with the cards I was handed. It's fine. But she was an epic snorer. Our rooms are always relatively close together, so I would be forced to hear the snoring. Even if she somehow was sleeping, like, across the house, I would still hear the snoring sometimes, and I was always just like, why? And then the other thing about Onimama's sleeping habit was that she would always have to have something playing in order to sleep. So she would listen to... Well, for a while she was watching, like, cable TV, and she'd have the TV running all night while she slept because she couldn't sleep without noise from the TV. Then when she finally got an iPad, she became an iPad kid. She couldn't fall asleep unless that thing was playing a show. So the amount of times I have stayed up and I've been stuck listening to the sounds of, like, Grey's Anatomy over and over, because that was the main thing she liked to watch. Truly, I have the patience of a saint. For me, it's because it gives a focus point for my mind, and instead of thinking about 12 different things I might be worried about, I just lock in on the one thing, the sound of a voice, and my brain slows down a bunch. Oh, yeah. That's actually very similar to how, like, auditory hypnosis inductions work. They get you to focus on just the one thing, and they make everything else kind of disappear. And because of that, like, heightened sense of focus, that's what is able to get you into that trance-like state. So that makes sense to me. I understand it. So her sleep preferences are exactly the opposite of yours. Yeah, I don't know how I survived. I don't know how I made it through. I returned with 2 shinies. Oh, did you get 2 shiny Scrafty? Or was it the shiny Scrafty and a different shiny? Congratulations, though. If I'm to fall asleep to a video, it has to be something I don't mind missing out on, or I'd fight the sleep to keep listening. Oh, yeah, no, I get that. I think that's part of my problem, too, is that if I try to fall asleep while watching something, I want to focus on the thing I ended up choosing to watch. Even if it's something I'm rewatching, I feel like my brain's just like, ooh, rewatch thing I like. And then before I know it, 2 hours have passed, and I'm like, ah, frick. Happens more often than I'd like to admit, I fear. Two Scraggies mixed up the two, but close enough. Mmm. Close enough. At least you'll be able to evolve them into Scrafty. Congratulations, though. Yippee! I've only ever done shiny hunting in games where it was kind of easy. So, like, Legends Arceus and then, did I shiny hunt in Sword and Shield? No. I think I didn't really care about shiny hunting until Legends Arceus because it was easy. And then Scarlet and Violet, it was also kind of easy. So I hunted a bit more in that as well. And I was saying earlier, I wonder if ZA is going to have the same sort of easy shiny hunting that Legends Arceus did. I remember seeing a channel with videos of people speaking about boring subjects in a monotone voice precisely to make them easy to fall asleep to. No, that's funny. I do know that there are a lot of content creators who have their, like, sleep edit versions of their videos. Like, they have a secondary channel that's meant to be, like, sleep aid. That's the term. Where they edit out the parts where they, like, scream, or, like, parts in the edits that are too energetic and intense, and they just make the overall video, like, a lot calmer and chiller for the people who like to listen to them while they're going to sleep. So there is, like, a bigger advent of people watching, like, YouTubers or other creators to sleep with, and it's causing that, like, rise of sleep aid. The other thing about sleep aid videos too is that they're really long, so the watch time usually ends up being really good because people fall asleep to them, and that means that they watch the whole thing, and then they can get auto-played into something else that also ends up being really long, and they get 100% watch time. So it ends up being really good for the creators too. Nintendo facts to fall asleep to and such. Yeah. There's one creator that I like to watch. She has, like, a separate series that's meant to be for sleep aid, and that's specifically the only time she plays cozy games. Because usually she'll play, like, basically anything, or she'll do, like, collabs that are kind of, like, chaotic and noisy. But the only time she'll, like, truly pick up a cozy game is to do the sleep aid series, and then it'll just be, like, her talking to herself for a couple hours while playing something calm. You know, sleep version, 90 minutes out of 110. Puntable sleep version, Lamau just sleep nerd skill issue. Puntable to sleep to would just be her being like,
Can you get me a glass of water? No, I want a cookie. I dropped my plushie on the floor. I have to go to the bathroom.
like, it's just her bugging you like children do at night because they don't want to go to sleep. Not dropping the plushie on the floor. I know, a nightmare. Puntable anti-ASMR? Okay, if we're doing anti-ASMR, then she'd be like, I don't want to go to bed! And she's, like, jumping up and down. You hear the bed creeping because she's jumping on it. I had 6 cookies and 2 apple juice, so I'm not tired. She throws a pillow at you. You don't answer her, and she throws all her plushies at you. Makes you pick them up because she's supposed to be in bed. She gets out of bed, you hear her padding towards her toy box, loudly ruffling through the toy box. She pulls out, like, the like, noisiest, musical toy that she has, which is probably either a drum kit or a xylophone, or both, God forbid. And then she just starts banging on those and making music. Loudly demands that you turn on SpongeBob. SpongeBob does not air at this time. But she still loudly demands SpongeBob. If you tell her that SpongeBob isn't even on TV, she's just like, but I want SpongeBob! Yeah, throws tantrum because no SpongeBob. She specifically wants to watch SpongeBob with the commercials because she also knows that there's RNG that the commercials will also be loud and annoying. And she wants aid. So her hope is that SpongeBob is loud and annoying, and that the commercial breaks are also loud and annoying. So she won't settle for you, like, getting episodes off of Netflix or whatever. Puntable is just training people for future parenthood. True. If your child was a fucking menace, that's puntable. Puntable Crash Out Simulator. No, she'll crash out if you say anything regarding Tupperware. If you try to take any of her toys away and give her a Tupperware container, or threaten to put her in Tupperware, she literally will crash out. Screaming and crying as if you just threatened to throw her across the room. Puntable ASMR would be playing a DS under the covers until the battery goes. Puntable ASMR would be playing one of those, like... You know how some of those baby toys, like, talk back to you when you press buttons? It would be her playing with one of those under the covers. And it's not even, like, quiet. It's just really loud. The dog goes bark. The cat goes meow. Hey, can you find the chicken? Which of these is red? You know, like those crazy ass toys that are so noisy. Or Tickle Me Elmo. I mean, those are cursed toys. Puntable probably does like playing with those, to be honest. She thinks they're funny. But she would be wanting to play with something that's really loud and annoying because she passive-aggressively is trying to tell you she doesn't want to go to bed. She's making it as obvious as possible. Just like, please, please take me out of this room. A talking peepee. Unfortunately, there are no peepee that have voice boxes. They are silent toys. Well, I say toys, but they're technically not toys. They are meant to be considered memorabilia. You have to be careful giving them to children for this reason. They aren't really intended to be played with like a traditional toy. According to item label. Time to fabricate a voice box with a Yuno sound pack for them. I'm Pee-Pee. Here we roar. You got any snacks? I want to eat peanuts. I'm in your walls. I'm Pee-Pee. Don't look out your window. PhD's ASMR would be this, actually. Typing out the final draft for the report due for the 8 a.m. class. Yeah. Typing out the final draft. There'd probably also be a different kind of ASMR where she's finishing her required reading, so you hear all the page turning of, like, reading through academic papers or reading assigned chapters in books. So lots of page turning ones. Occasionally she has to handwrite something, so you might get some nice sounding ASMR of pen scribbling on paper. With the occasional sound of, oh god, why did I sign up for the 8 a.m. lecture? I have my thesis defense practice on Friday. Why did I choose Friday? In university, they tell you that you can set your own schedule, and here I am ruining my own life! Scribble, scribble, scribble. University, yeah. PhD is my work Sona. She is the tired, in her comfiest possible PJs, but still getting work done because she has to be productive. That's why usually when I do my work streams, I have the bangs pinned up because she's trying to get her work done, but her hair is just disheveled. She's tired. Jacket hanging off the shoulders. Staying close to her computer, just typing away. She has a dream, but boy, is it hard to reach it when you have all these deadlines. It's gonna be me in 5 months going to college in my 30s. Oh, well, congratulations on going back to school. That's a really big commitment, so I'm very proud of you for going for that. I have also been considering going back to school. I kick the idea around in my brain. But I feel like if I do go back, it would have to be... Well, obviously, I already have a degree. But I'd have to go back for a master's in something that's actually freaking useful. I don't know what that would be, though. Because I'm not really interested in a lot of the, like... career fields that are usually considered, like, useful in careers. So I'm just like, Like, one of the main things when I was choosing to be a creative writing major was that I was getting so tired of how so many of them were, like, English major, parentheses, intention of turning you into a teacher. I can't really see myself as a teacher, so I was always just like, I don't know. I was very happy when I found my program because it was one of the few that would focus just on creative writing. It still has a teacher track. If you go to the school for the masters, they make you train to be a teacher, and I hate it, so I didn't do it. Set your own schedule. Required classes at 8 to 12, 2 to 4. God, I know, right? Well, my school actually wasn't too bad. I feel like a lot of the other writing professors kind of got it. So there would be some classes that would be offered at the 8 to 12 slot, but then there were a lot of others that were like... It was usually like 10 a.m. would kind of start being the early slots. And then there were also several teachers who would teach the evening classes, so from like 6 to 9. I took a lot of those. My brain tends to work better at night anyway. I still feel like I'm my most productive in the morning too, but I think my brain is more active at night. So the evening classes always worked better for me in terms of like class participation. On the other hand, student debt, honestly, real. Student debt is scary. I don't know if I want to add to that. I already have, like, you know, student debt, so I don't really want to add to it. But also, some part of me is still just like, but what if I just do something else to get a better career? Because what the frick? The job market is so messed up here. I'm gonna do a pathway program into a bachelor's so I can relocate geographically. Ooh, makes sense. I hope that it works out for you. It's still a big commitment either way. I've said this before to other people though, but like, don't feel bad about going back when you are older than a lot of the other students. Like, there's literally no shame. There is no shame in doing what you gotta do. Job market sucks, so sometimes going back to school in some form is needed in order to diversify your skill set so that you can pursue other career paths. So do not feel any shame. You are doing something that is right for you. One year I didn't have a roommate and I just gave up on mornings and slept at 5 p.m. 8 a.m. isn't bad if you wake up at 1 or 2. That's crazy. I've had a lot of clients at the seasonal job where people are way older and back in school, so I don't worry about the financial part of it. I mean, schools do have financial aid programs. They aren't always the best, but apply for as many things that can relate to you and your situation as possible. If you think you even remotely can be applied to it, apply for it. And then hopefully they also have some like work programs. I did a lot of work study from... I did work study from sophomore to... Yeah, sophomore to the end of my college career. And that was really good because it was a nice supplement of money. Which was very helpful for me to get through, to survive. But you got this, I believe. Hmm. But okay. I still have stuff I have got to do for later. I have a provincial program that covers the tuition part, but I'm in the process of officially being recognized as having a learning disability too, due to finding out very recently I have ADHD. Oh! Yeah, they'll allow for, like, not just grants, but that'll also be good for, like, certain classes as well. Most schools will have programs for your specific disabilities so they can get you, accommodations for each class. Take advantage of those. Do what you gotta do to get through the program. Milk them for what they're worth, especially because you're paying to go there. Milk them dry. Get everything you can. I was like that with school too. I was just like, if you have it, I'm going to apply for it. I'm gonna take it. Technically, it's my gov who's paying for it. Well, even better. Milk them for what they're worth. Get everything you can. Hell yeah. We'll schedule everything between 9 AM and 2, take meds today. We're done before the crash. Aw, man. That sounds crazy. I consider myself a bit lucky that my programs were always kinda manageable. But I went to one of those silly, arts schools. So they cared a lot more about things like, balance. And they would try to advocate to, like, take care of yourself more often. Especially because we were doing something like art and having to produce art, like, every week. So they were always like, please don't go crazy. And we were just like, we're going to anyway, but thanks for the tip. But yeah, good luck, good luck. I'm rooting for you. Depending on if my job search continues to be a big pain in my butt, I might just suck it up and go back to school too. I've been doing a big think about going to school specifically for, library science, because I like books. And I feel like in terms of normie jobs, that would probably be one of the few things I could tolerate, because at least it would be quiet. But I don't know for sure yet. It's also kind of up in the air for me. But we'll see how it goes. I will continue to glanba. But okay. I think I am going to wrap up the stream for today. So I've already posted my schedule for the week, but quick reminders. Onimon tomorrow. Grace is Tuesday. Break Day Wednesday. Thursday is Tiny Garden. Friday is Okami. Saturday is Members. So basically nothing is really that different from a usual week. There's just 6 streams this week instead of the usual, like, 4 or 5. Do some networking. Job hunting success is a lot about who you know than what you know. I try to, but most of the people in my network don't do that kind of thing. Like, I have connections. They just don't supply things in that way to me. Granted, I'm also really bad about asking because I don't want to be like, hey, help me find a job. But like, since most of the people I know are also in the creative field, I feel like my only options are become teacher or pick up a trade or something. I don't know. I'm still figuring it all out. You're never truly going to understand. I'm over 200 and I'm still struggling and figuring out how to do stuff. So never feel bad about how long it takes. Do your best. We'll get through it. But yeah, we're gonna have a fun week this week. I think that about does it for me. I can't think of anything else I wanted to say. If you haven't listened to it yet, listen to Ice Cream. It's posted on my community tab, and it's also in my cover playlist, so you should consider checking it out, please. I love Mia Loon. They are my girls. I care about them. But okay, we're gonna call it. Thank you guys so much for choosing to spend time with me. I hope that you have a good rest of your time zone, and until I see you again, Yinotsu!